This is Action Jack and Burgermeister behind the camera. We're at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C.
Never thought we'd get here, did you? That's amazing. I thought we were at Notre Dame.
Absolutely gorgeous. We're going to go in and take a tour. So it is a cold day. It's 10 degrees or something like that. It's been snowing. But Birgit and I wanted to see this beautiful cathedral. This is known as the Cathedral Church of St. Peter in St. Paul.
Also known as the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C.
And we never knew how fantastic this place is.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
They're still doing work on it, if you notice the scaffolding on the outside. From the earthquake from 2011, they had to raise $35 million to start the renovation and the repair work. So it's almost done. We're inside now. We're not even talking about the inside here. There's the nave. It's the longest nave in the world almost. What is this, the sixth largest cathedral, something like that in the world?
It's the sixth largest cathedral in the world. It's the second largest cathedral in the United States.
Yeah, that New York one I think is bigger, the one in New York.
Yes.
And so this is quite a beautiful cathedral. And look at the absolutely gorgeous stained glass windows. They have literally 231 stained glass windows. And I did not start counting them. I did the reading on that one. 231, and every one of them different, and each one more gorgeous than the other. And we have a special one coming up shortly, which we'll talk about as soon as it shows up on the screen, which is unique to any stained glass. Am I right?
Right, and it's 83 years it took to build this.
Yeah, they started in 1907 and finished about 1990, and then in 2011 an earthquake came along. So they kind of started up all over again.
Do you know how much funding they get from the United States government?
I have no idea.
Zero.
Oh, good. Keep the government out of it.
There's 150,000 tons of limestone here from Indiana.
Oh, look at this, that gorgeous rose window. Is that the most beautiful window? And here's that spectacular glass.
That's the moonstone right there.
In the middle.
And that red dot right there, that's from the moon.
That was brought back by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Yes, in fact, the whole crew brought that here. There are cathedrals throughout
there's churches throughout it. This is the main altar. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's like all in gold. And those figures at the end are 5.5 to 6.5 feet. And the guide said, yeah, they had to be tall because you've got to see them all the way to the end of the cathedral if you're sitting in the back. This here is where the special guests sit, and then on both sides here. And then the benches there are for the choir. And to the top on the left, above, on the left-hand side, wondered what kind of a gallery that was, you'll see that wooden board. That's where that big pipe organ is supposed to go. And it's not there right now because it's in Connecticut being repaired and given a tune-up and everything, and it won't be back until 2028.
Well, you're doing a great job, Biggie.
Oh, thank you. And it's got a fake scaffolding as a roof here. It looks just like the stone ceiling. They didn't want to take it down after they took the organ down. They said, leave it there for 4 years while we fix the organ. We're going to need it again. So that was a rather interesting tidbit on that. This is one of the beautiful hallways on our way to the crypt. Is this gorgeous? Helen Keller is buried down here, so that's why we were heading down to the crypt. And they had these absolutely spectacular handmade tapestries here of the Bible. St. Joseph's Chapel. This is where Helen Keller is interned. And so is Annie Sullivan.
Yes.
And we'll ignore those people. They're leaving. Straight ahead on the wall on the right, you'll see a brown spot where that guy is standing. And that's Helen Keller and Annie Sullivan.
So there's a long line of people wanting to come here, but there she is, Helen Keller.
Yes, and the bottom of it tells, it's also in Braille. Her, what do you call these things, epitaph?
Epitaph.
There you go, okay. And watch, Jack's fingers are going to do magic writing in a minute. Watch, they're going to come out here. You're very good in Braille. Did you know that? See? Yeah. Isn't that amazing that they do that? And this is Woodrow Wilson's
So he's the only
president.
to be buried in Washington, D.C.
Everybody else leaves the city, but he hung around.
The rest are in, well, they're all over the place. Many
Right,
are
well,
in
they
Virginia.
went home, yeah. They went home. But is this beautiful? Talk about a nice location.
And then his wife is buried here, and she died in 1961, like 1872 to 1961.
And if you want to get technical, she was the first woman president because he was incapacitated.
Yeah, so it was, although technically she is not listed, but she did do the work of the President of the United States. These are the beautiful mosaics.
Tiles, unbelievable. Yes. Can't get your head around that. That is tile. Can you imagine the work of bit by bit by bit doing that? And then that mural over there at the back here is so unbelievably beautiful. And this is one of the bishops or something buried here. They will have their little, what do you call those caskets with the you just stuck in that stone?
Sarcophagus? I don't know what it is.
Is that beautiful? I had to take another picture of that. George Washington had a statue here because of his father of our country, and there's Abraham Lincoln. I'm holding his hand. And what's that thing there? That was his
farewell address that he did when he was in Chicago.
Oh, Springfield.
In Springfield, yes.
Coming to the presidency. And this is a side chapel again, and everyone famous, all these famous people have their name on these embroidered pillows. And we got a few of them. We got Ronald Reagan.
I like that because P through strength, I think, is a very nice initials.
John Pershing, Army. Can't do them all. Did Ben Franklin. Just beautiful. These are little quilted pillows on the backs of all these seats. And now look where we're at, Jack.
We're at the very top. This is the 7th floor?
7th floor.
And so you can see all over Washington here. And this is really beautiful. Again, it's very, 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 very cold and snowy.
Yeah.
But as we're looking out here.
Peekaboo, right through the window. I think I'm going to zoom in. You can see the Washington Monument somewhere over here, right?
So, yeah, we're at the very highest part of all of
there it is, way over there on the left-hand side.
So we're actually taller than the Washington Monument.
Yes.
And then you can see to the right of that is...
Is that the Jefferson or the...
Jefferson.
Okay.
And then also to the right is where the vice president lives.
Oh, yeah, the Naval Academy. Well, not Naval Academy. What's the observatory? What's that called?
Naval Observatory.
Yeah.
That's there.
So that's an amazing view. And this is a pretty good picture with our little iPhone.
It's absolutely gorgeous. So now Birgit and I are going to go through a little spin. And this was so much more beautiful than I anticipated.
I know. I had no idea how gorgeous this place could be. I mean, I'm in awe of the detail. And then so this was total fun, wasn't it, to walk around this building like this?
And I think given the time of year, we had few people, as you can see here. There's going to be one person who's very polite to get out of the way because she sees we have a camera.
Yeah, she was doing the same thing, but she was coming the other way.
Yes.
So that was kind of cute. But this was so beautiful. Everything here, even this is 7th floor, and there were 2 or 3 floors below us, which you're not allowed on unless you do certain private tours where they'll take you out to see the grotesques and the gargoyles and everything. But otherwise, you don't get to go out there. And this time of year, they weren't doing that because it's January and it's cold.
Yes.
So they weren't doing that. But look at this beautiful hallway. You literally can walk around all 4 corners. Peekaboo. What was that, Jack?
That is part of the church.
That big building down there?
Yeah, that's part of the school.
That's that one of the schools? Okay.
Yeah, and there's the driveway.
Okay. I know there are 2 or 3 schools attached to the cathedral, so that's amazing.
So
who's that handsome man? Hi,
loaded
gorgeous.
up, I got about 15,000 layers of clothes on. I'm not that big. I look like a sumo
I don't know.
wrestler.
You look all warm and toasty to me. It's cold out there. It was freezing. We're not used to that. California doesn't get cold like that.
No. So now we're back outside where it's cold, and here we have an Easter egg. Darth Vader is here as a grotesque. And there's 2 types of ornaments out here. One is called a grotesque, and the other is called a gargoyle.
You are correct. And he's the grotesque.
He's a grotesque.
So he's up there at the top. You got to look for him.
Yeah, straight up above in the center
to the
of
right
the screen.
somewhere.
Right.
We've got a close-up of him so you can see him. But this is why people come to the cathedral on the outside. They want to find Darth Vader, who was the choice for a gargoyle, a grotesque, excuse me, after they had a contest and they asked all the school kids for surrounding areas what they wanted, and that's what they got, was a grotesque Darth Vader to put outside on a cathedral.
And a gargoyle is a spout for water. So it will be like a dragon or something like that. They have hundreds of different kinds there. But gargoyle comes from the French word to gargle.
Oh, and there's old Darth. Hello, Darth.
So you really have to use a zoom lens to see.
Yeah, the iPhone is not quite the closest thing you can get. And here's a description of what a
The difference-
grotesque and a gargoyle are.
So there's
That's a gargoyle, right?
gargoyle because that's a spout where the
Yeah, that's
water
right.
comes from the rain.
Yeah. Froggy's not too ugly.
So it's an absolutely beautiful cathedral. It's worth seeing. 6th largest in the world,
And
second
when we
largest
left-
in North America.
The sun was out.
Yes, although it's still freezing cold.
Yeah, but we ended up with beautiful weather because we even got to take a picture. A lady took a picture of us out here.
So you can take a guided tour or you can do a self-guided tour. It's up to you. So it's a great place to see. We had no idea how magnificent this is. So we're really recommend seeing it. So on behalf of my lovely bride,
Bergie Meister?
this is Action Jack saying we'll be back and it'll be soon. And that's the name of that tune.